Hey, what's up, fams? I'm Frank, and I'm too big to fake it.
And I'm Neum, and I'm ready to send it all day, every day.
Let's go. Hey, and welcome to Faith and Flamez, where we talk story.
Share some insights that no one asked for.
And as always,
Eat some tasty food.
Oh, man. So before we get into today's topic, it's probably a really good question to ask, cuz what's on the menu today?
Oh, I love that. Today, we got that rump steak, salt and pepper.
Ooh.
We're smashing that bad boy on the coals, brother.
On the coals.
Oh, we're grilling it today.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I like to, when you slice into it and it's blue. Oh,
Okay.
man, let's go. Wait, how do you like yours?
Bro, I'm medium rare, salt, a little bit of pepper, and just having that juice flow once you cut into it. I love my steak.
Juice?
Yeah, the juice.
Choose or something.
I will choose just to eat the medium rare.
Suave,
Yeah, man, like, how do you guys like your steak?
Yeah,
If those that like steak, man, how do you guys like it?
Chuck it in the comments, man. We'll be interested to read those.
Let us know, and then one day, man, pull up a chair and we'll share one.
Hey, why not?
Hey.
Why not? Why not? Oh, man. I loved how you prepared the steaks, man. The seasonings that you added onto there. Oh, man. They're going to just, I can already see them cooking up so nice, Hey, but you know what else I'm excited about?
What's that, cuz?
Oh, I'm going to go serious now, I'm looking forward to our topics that we're going to talk today,
What do we got for today, man?
Well, I think today is really important for us to talk about identity, its importance. Because moving into the new year, this is the realm where people are setting goals and, trying to set processes for them to achieving those goals and stuff. So, because for me, I've always set goals and they're the same goals that I set the year before.
Just change the number on the top of goals of 2025. Oh, 2026.
Yeah, exactly. So, like for me, I just want to talk, about how our identity, how does that shape our identity, the processes perhaps that we can put in place to make a difference this year, because I don't want my 2026 to be the same as 2025.
Yeah. Nah, definitely keen, cuz I'm excited about those topics and the same thing, man. I want it to be a better one.
Yeah.
And so I love that we're going to be talking about identity, because who we were last year isn't going to be who we are this year.
I'd hate to be the same person as I was last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty cool, but...
Okay.
I reckon, I've got heaps of room to improve,
Yeah. All right, cuz. Well, I think we're all prepped up. The food's prepped.
Oh, man.
The topics are prepped.
That looks,
I think we're ready to go.
I can't wait, man. Is that us?
Ooh, yeah. Cook it up.
Let's go. Oh, man, cuz that is, cooking on the coals. Smells delicious. Oh, man, I cannot wait, man. But, I think it's, probably a good time now to talk about, our topics and getting into it. And, one thing that, I've admired about you, and, since knowing you is, your ability to, have these processes that you put in place that you followed. And, we've seen it. Everyone's seen the successes that you've had, the amazing things that have come from that. I just want to ask, cuz, while we get into it, like, has it been as easy as it looks, on social media and the platforms that you have?
I'd say the definite easy answer is no. I guess any kind of, for those that don't know, I was on a weight loss journey, a health journey that lasted 365 days, but I'd planned out a specific way of doing it. For me, one of the hardest things was the identity that I have with any kind of health is weight loss.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel is quite common. Everyone thinks that the direct, way of being healthy is by being skinny or light or a scales number. And what had happened is that every time I'd gone and done something, the scales would say something. And if those two didn't match up, I felt like I had failed.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, eh? Like, you're putting in all of this effort, you know, like training hard. And I mean, that's how I failed in a lot of my goals is, you know, I was sending at handies, doing all of these things. And then I'm like, man, I feel like I'm 10 kilos lighter. Hop on the scale, I'm 3 kilos heavier.
And that's it. Those things there, they, like, no matter how strong or how cool or hard you think you are, those can break you mentally. And that's what it was for me. I would lose all this weight, and then when I'd like take a breath or sniff in some bakery, oh man, 5 kgs added on just from a smell. And that for me was, I couldn't understand it. So I started reading, I started looking at other things, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to change what I identified as better health, or getting me to better health, to be more than just the scales. I jumped on a process called the 75 Hard Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And those were specific tasks that you had to complete every day. It didn't talk about how much weight you lost. It didn't talk about even size and measuring. It just talked about a process. For me, because what happened was I looked at the goals that I had, but it wasn't the actual goals that were going to get me to the goal. It was the steps that I was taking.
Wow.
So from there, it was, how do I align myself with the goal? What processes get me to the goal, and what processes are going to get me further than the goal?
Yeah.
I think that was the key. When you said, was it easy? No, because I had identified myself as being healthy only when I'm losing weight. So I still jumped on the scales, still checked those things. I was surrounded by the most amazing food that you could ever think of and want. It's funny how that happens, eh? Because
Always.
when you want to go on when you're not on a diet, you're like, man, I've got no money. There's no food around. There's no chocolate cake. There's no anything. But the second you think, I'm going on a diet, or I'm doing better this year, man, ting, cookies, donuts, ice cream, everything's just freely ready for you.
Yeah.
I can't stand it, but I love it.
Nah, you don't say no to that stuff, eh?
Nah, and that's it. So what I show on social media, I try to show the things that I was doing, because I wanted to show that it was possible to follow a process. I do think it showed something where it wasn't achievable, it wasn't relatable, because it was 365 days of a specific thing. But I wanted to illustrate that it's not about results.
Yeah.
I had this saying, or this mantra. I had this mantra, and it was, fall in love with the process, not the results.
And I love that, you know.
But if the process is solid, the results will follow. And so that's what I was more focused on, is what is the process? So then when people would ask me, people would always ask me, how much do you weigh? What size are you now? I would answer, I don't know, because that's not what I'm looking at doing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at getting up, drink my water, eat my steak, go for my walk, read my book, go to sleep and do it again the next day. And that was something that helped me kind of detach from the scales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, thinking about my experiences with all of this kind of stuff, it's, to a certain point, it becomes your identity, like, you're trying to fight. Like, in my family, I'm, I'm the measuring stick for everyone else. It's like, oh man, he's big, but he's not Frank big, you hate that, It's like, you become the, and slowly that becomes your identity. But one thing I love about, this time of the season and this time of the year, and listening to, you talk about your processes is, it gives us an ability to reflect on, who we are and how do we see ourselves,
Yeah.
and our potential that we have, because I feel like every year at this particular time, I'm more than what I've been in the past, in the past year. I feel like I'm not living to my potential. You know, I think about, and this is kind of crazy, like, you know, because both of us, you know, we're church going kind of, you know, people and stuff. You know, I think about my physical body. How does that look compared to my spiritual body? Like, my spiritual body might look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but my physical body, I'm looking like, you know, Nutty Professor. So, you know, like, how do I align the two? You know, so like when I'm thinking about these processes that you're talking about, man, that's so true. One thing that I always hear, and I hate it so much, is, you know, you can't out-train a bad diet. Like, you know how much I train, cuz, and I train really hard. Anyone that goes to the gym, anyone who sees me at the gym knows I train pretty hard. I should, like, by the way I train, I should be Mr. Olympia by now, like, but I'm Mr. eating everything you wanted right now, and that's because although I'm amazing at the processes at the gym, I am absolutely lost when it comes to eating, you know, because I get stuck in this route where I'm like, I'm training, I need to carb up for that, so I'm gonna eat, you know, a whole pizza, some fish and chips, you know, half a loaf of bread, you know, stack it with some butter and stuff, you know, and because that's my mentality, and I haven't, you know, been able to use the processes that I use when I'm at the gym. I can't move those into the kitchen where it counts the most, you know. So that's the reason why I asked, you know, if it was easy, because I for sure know that it's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's,
you know,
it can be, it's a lifelong thing. I mean, putting it out there as well, while I was doing the process and I was in it and I was grinding every day, I loved it. I began to love it. It began to be who I was.
Yeah.
And that's what it was on social media, out in the community when I was walking. It was me walking, and this 365 blast was who I became. And so that's why it was like, yes. But here's the thing. The question was, what happens after the 365 days? And so because there was no process that continued past the 365, when I got there, I do what you always do when you complete something. You celebrate with food. The very first thing I had was the biggest, baddest, melted, beautiful chocolate dripping cookie that my daughter made. Wow. And I smashed it. And I looked down and, I must have smashed 5. Oops. And so for me, that was the hardest part, was having that process with a timer on it.
Yeah.
What I've learned now is creating a process that lasts a lifetime.
Wow. Because
that's where the real wins are. I do have to say, it wasn't realistic to live that way for forever, what I had in place. And that's why people always say, it's not a race, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'm like, sorry, I don't want to do a sprint or a marathon.
Nah.
I don't want to even go swimming. But I understood that is the best way, is step by step. And that's how I broke it down. That's why I believe in processes, because with a process, it had no feelings. Processes have no feelings. When I would I'd wake up and I would feel sorry for myself. I was sore from the workout or the walk, but it was irrelevant to me continuing the process.
Yeah.
It was, I'm sore, but still put my shoes on. I'm tired, but still go for a walk. Wow. What I related to is people that go to work in a 9 to 5, that's a process. Whether you're sore, whether you had a late night, you're turning up to work. Why? Because you got to eat and you got to feed your family. My process was, I got to get up, I've got to go for a walk, I've got to eat the right foods for me and my family.
Yeah.
And so if you can do it one place, kind of like what you were saying, if you can do it in the gym, it can be done here, but how do you make the connection?
Yeah.
I think, because all roads would lead to food, I think low and slow, just like I like my barbecue.
And it's like, we're talking right now, You know, and I love what you're saying, but my nose, honestly, it keeps on drifting off because, man, I can smell that barbecue. It's incredible. Man, I'm loving what you're saying, though, because, you know, like, especially at this time of the year, it's such a good time to now start looking at processes. And, like, that's why I feel like, you know, I think this year is going to be different for me because, you know, like, you've given me such strong evidence of processes, putting them in place. And I know that I haven't put processes in place in the kitchen to help me achieve my goals. So grateful.
One thing I do remember, I was talking to someone and they were like, okay, I'll go back to food. So another place that I like to eat is a smorgasbord. Oh. The all-you-can-eat ones.
Yeah.
Golden Dragon. If you know, you know. Going there, there's a huge variety of food, any buffet. And so when you first get there, if you've never been there before, you go and get your tray and you pick out all these different foods. You don't even know what they are because you don't know what they taste like.
Yeah.
And so you start smashing them back. The second time you go up, it's, oh, I like that one. I like that one. I kind of like that one. And the third time you go, you're only grabbing the things that you like. And I feel like when it comes to processes, especially around whether it's a diet or whether it's a new thing that you're trying, it's trying the things that like it's trying everything out there, and then taking away only the things that actually work for you, that you enjoy, and then slowly going back for more.
Yeah.
Slowly putting that process in place, because I think often because of how heavy and big I am, I'm in a rush to lose so much weight. So I look for, what's the quick fix?
Yeah,
hey,
the drastic ones.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know, the 75 hard, 365 hard, but it needs to be a lifestyle. It needs to be an identity change. So, for example, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he was saying that, you know, he was smoking for years, just smoke. And then he said, I used to say to other people when they'd offer me a smoke, I quit smoking. And he shared with me, it was interesting because it still identified me as a smoker. So what he changed and he started saying was, oh, I actually don't smoke, bro. I'm not a smoker anymore. And so it detached him from that identity and helped him put new processes in place for when people would offer him a smoke.
That's incredible, eh? That's like realizing what your potential is, that you have limitless potential when you change your perception. Because when you're really, if you think about it, your perception influences your reality.
Definitely.
And so when you're changing that perception, like you're saying, I don't smoke, you know, you're detaching yourself from that. I love that, man. I love that so much. You know, I'm looking forward to, you know, putting these processes to place, you know, in my goals this year. Because I think, man, that brings power. That helps us to, I guess, in essence, be who we truly are meant to be,
Yeah, definitely agree, cuz. Speaking of setting the scene for this year, cuz, I think it's time to set the table with that bad boy food.
Oh, please, I cannot wait, cuz.
Send it!
Oh, man. This looks incredible, cuz, man. I cannot wait to get into this. Thank you so much. Man, just by looking at it, man, whoo, mine's blue. You can tell that.
Oh, I love that medium rare, that drip, man. That drip is why I'm here.
Yours does look a little bit bigger than mine, but is that because you bought it? Or? Nah. This looks good, man. But hey, you know, it's I don't want to do those selfish ones, but you know, we should invite our viewers to just, you know, pull up a chair. You reckon?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, pull up a chair, guys.
Come.
Oh.
There's enough for everyone.
Actions, yeah, everyone and their friends. But yeah, I guess one thing that, you know, after we've talked about our processes and, you know, our identity and, you know, the potential that we have, it's probably a good idea to include everyone in, I guess, identifying probably something that, you know, a process that they would like to put in place this year and what they would like to achieve.
Yeah.
Are you kind of in that space at the moment where you've got something that you're looking to work towards? Or?
Now I'm just looking at building a more sustainable process around health.
Yeah.
There's a process around health what it looks like to do it slowly,
Yeah.
what it looks like to do it long term, without an end date, and just carry on. So health in general, but I think last time, as I said, I wasn't focused on results, focused on what's going to take me there. I also know where I want this process to take me.
Yeah.
One thing for me, cause actually a big goal for me is when I book flights to fly. I usually just fly to Australia because it's close. When I book flights to Australia, I have to book 1 seat per butt cheek.
Ooh.
And so always 2.5 seats I take up.
Really?
Yeah, it's expensive, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So for me, the goal by the end of the year is to be able to fit in 1 chair.
Yeah.
And so when I go in, I don't have to say, oh yeah, just checking in my left butt cheek and then checking my right butt cheek. So 1 seat for me. That's it. That's my goal.
For me, for this year, something that I probably want to put in place is just, I really want to put processes in place in the kitchen for me, because I know that's where I'm failing at the moment. And I know if I get that right, you'll have your seat in the plane there, and then I'll be right next to you. Why?
And then unlucky Ulster next person.
Now we should put them in the middle of us. That'll be funny as. But anyway, hey, I just want to invite you guys who are, our awesome viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check in the comments. What are some of the things that the processes that you're willing to put in place, and I guess what are some of the things that you're wanting to achieve this year as well?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to do it by ourselves. We want to invite you to join us, and hopefully that you'll invite us to join you as well.
It's also, what are the steps that you're going to take today? It's easy to talk. Man, I'm good at talking. That's all I do is talk the talk, and then let the bro next door to go for the walk. Actually looking at what can go into the process and putting it in place, and that's what we'd love to hear too.
I guess another thing that would be pretty keen on, because today we're eating these steaks, and if you want to see us eating these, check out the socials that are going to be, somewhere over here. But check those out, because then we'll, that's where we'll really get you to pull your chair up and watch us smash these. But also, if there's anything else that you guys would like us to eat, any suggestions, and please don't say salad. That's a side, not a main.
We don't need decorations on this podcast.
Nah, hey, we're open to all suggestions, cuz.
Yeah, most.
Most. But yeah. Hey, but here's what's coming up next week.
So next week we're going to talk about, I guess, how those before us have paved the way, how we can pave the way for a better us moving into 2026, and also how we can pave the way for a better future for the next generation.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what Moana came to my name with that one.
I was about to sing with you, but then I would have been...
Hey, but thank you for joining Faith and Flames. I'm Frank.
And I'm Neum.
And this
is Faith and Flames. No.